Wednesday, 7 o'clock. You know what that means. Here we go again. Jeremiah Bullfrog Cuts it up. Coming to you live on the old YouTube. Super happy to run down a super dope episode today. I've been thinking about this one for a hot minute. If everybody remembers, last season we did the Chinese food leftovers. It was kind of like an intro of like, how do we start to learn how to cook? How do we start incorporating Chinese food flavors? So in that episode, I thought it'd be, easier to kind of like roll you guys in, show you guys a couple of techniques using already, like leftover Chinese food, right? Chinese American. Today, on the other hand, we're going real deal Holyfield, y'all. We're taking it up like 10 notches. We're rocking and rolling with Sichuan flavors. Chengdu province to be exact. We are doing Mapo Tofu today. And my dude Jose is gonna drop a little intro. We're gonna learn all about it, y'all. Hey! Here we go. It's Wednesday. Live from the lab. 7 o'clock. Isolation station. The isolation station. What's good? You know what that means. Here we go. Go. All right. You know it's official because you heard the intro. Shout out to Daron on the theme. Shout out to Papaya Whip on that amazing track on the trailer, on the intro there. So Jose and I are super excited to be doing it again every Wednesday. Here we go live. Drop it in the comments. Let me know you guys are with me. Let's do a little roll call. If you're just joining me for the first time, let me know where you're at in the world. Let me know what you guys think about Mapo Tofu. Have you ever tried it before? Have you ever eaten it at your favorite Chinese food establishment? Have you ever had straight up legit Sichuanese food? Let's talk. Brian, yo, what's good? Neza. Lenny, I got my usual crowd. Thank you guys. I always appreciate y'all tuning in. So we're going to get into it. It's Mapo Tofu Day. Funny thing about Mapo Tofu is it is not a vegetarian dish. It's not even a vegan dish. It's not even close, y'all. The way I like to describe Mapo Tofu is it's kind of like Sichuan bolognese or like a Chinese bolognese. It is traditionally made with minced beef or just ground beef. And you cook that down with a bunch of Sichuan spices. It does have some heat. Shout out to Julia and Michael for tuning in. Great to have you all back as well. So we're getting into it, guys. We're talking about Mapo, and we're gonna do a rundown. We're doing tofu from scratch here, guys. I'm doing a vegan take on this dish as well for my vegan homies out there. All the vegan feels. Shout out to Bev. Thanks for joining. Miami is most definitely in the building. And so let's just get into it. There's a lot to cover. I want to make tofu from scratch so y'all can see that. Everyone can make tofu at home. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it. It involves making soy milk as well. So we're going scratch. So far scratch that, like, these are the soybeans, right? Whoop, lost one. Poured one out for the homies. So this is the soybeans that you use for soy milk, which in turn gets the tofu treatment. When you're making tofu, you're coagulating soy milk. I know that's a giant word in the culinary world, but you're just thickening, in a way, your soy milk. It's the same exact process. Thought that might be a cool little shot thing going on. It's the same exact process as cheese. With cheese, you're using, dairy, and you're using something to coagulate it. So same idea here, but we're going full-on vegan on this dish. As I was saying at the top, it's generally made with minced beef. Think of it like a bolognese. We're cutting that out and we're adding mushrooms. Mushrooms are super rich in umami, and they have a very meaty-like texture. So what we have to do is soak some soybeans overnight, and then that's what they look like. I actually just keep these in freezer bags. I bag soaked beans up. If you take a 1 pound bag of soybeans and you soak it overnight, they bloom and you get about 6 liters of soy milk. That's a lot of soy milk. So one of the tricks is you just always have these in your freezer ready to rock and roll, and you can, whip up a batch. Something that's cool about these I'm going to show you is that when you soak them and they're soaked right, you can kind of break them apart cleanly, and then, whoop, lost one. Let me see if I can find a good one for you guys. It gets this creamy sort of center, and that's how you know you're ready to rock and roll. As always, guys, I have the recipes in the description below. It's going to be hard to check this out. I don't think you guys can see it, but recipe description below. Go ahead and drop me some comments. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We're trying to build up the old YouTube. And we're going to rock and roll, guys. I'm getting right into it. We have a bunch of stuff to get into. So favorite part of the show, everybody cross your fingers at once. Jose, let's look at camera number 2. All right. Back up on 1. There it is, guys. Technology's in our favor today. Mercury's not in Gatorade. So, hey, here's some sake. Cheers to you, or should we say kanpai. Hope everyone's got a cocktail. And we're going to start getting into it. So, shouts to Henry. Shouts to Michelle. Thanks, everybody. As always, if I go too fast, if you have any questions, if you want to see something again, drop it in the comments. Jose is going to make sure to proctor all that and keep us on track. But we're getting into it. Here we go. Soy milk first. So if you look in the description again, we have everything dialed in. I test these recipes to make sure they work perfectly. First step is to blend our soybeans that have been soaked in water. You want to use cold filtered water, and you want to make sure that you're getting non-GMO beans. Super important. So beans go in blender. So far, pretty easy, right? We're not talking, there's no rocket science here. Nothing too crazy. You don't even need to see the blender. You're gonna get a glimpse of this whole process in a GIF, I promise. So there it is. if you were adjusting the old dial on your, I don't know, internet or phone or something, I was just clowning. So there's your slurry, right? That's what soybeans look like pureed in water. Again, recipe is gonna like hold your hand on this so that you guys can make this at home. We're about to go down to Cam 2 and I'm gonna show you the process. And let's take a look at that real quick. Cool. So this is our giant pot of water. It is hot water, right? So the proportions here, it is 255 grams of soybeans, 1.875 filtered water. I blended the soybeans with 750 mLs of water. I know this sounds like Chinese right now, but I wanted to just, run you through the recipe. So in the water is gonna go this slurry. Make sure we don't splash on Cam 2. That would not be cool. And so there we go, in the pot, super simp. There's our flame. It is kind of high on flame right now. Let me chuck in these extra beans that I had just to show you so we make sure we're on point on our recipe. Jose, how am I doing on Cam 1? Am I splitting the diff? Hey, there you go, little corner shot. We're making soy milk, right? If you've never had fresh soy milk, I know it's not a hugely popular thing in the States. All Asian countries, obviously, it's quite the delicacy or the treat. You just drink it every day. In most Asian countries, there was not a lot of cows. There wasn't that much land, other than China, and so we're not really built to digest cow's milk, anyways. That's the truth. We don't contain the enzymes to do so. There's so many people who are lactose intolerant and continue to be so. And so soy milk is a great alternative. Don't drink it in excess, just like anything in life. It does sometimes mess with people's hormones. But that whole thing about boys growing boobs and that whole thing, I do not believe that's true. Also, I'm not a scientist. I cook, so do your own research, right? Let's take a look at Cam 2 because this has been going while I've been rambling. You could see the steam start to rise and we're starting to get this nice foam here. Michael, how are we looking on Cam 2? Back up on 1. Boom, there we go. Look at us. We're humming right along here, aren't we? I mean, tofu. Who knew that we were just gonna rip it? What up, boss lady? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the big leagues. Here we go. Vegan style Mapo Tofu on the 1, 2, 3. Jose is gonna show you, what if soy milk really was milk introducing itself in Spanish? Let's go. Boom, 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 there it is. A little cinematic experience there on the old soy milk. What do you guys think? Let me know. Shouts to Muffin. Avarice, you are absolutely correct. Jose is killing it. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, Jose's in Queens. He's in, not Flushing. I love to say Flushing because there's amazing Chinese food there. Astoria, thank you. Jose's in Queens, New York. Here I am in Miami. We're doing the damn thing for YouTube. Shouts to everybody for jumping in. I really appreciate the love. I'm feeling the vibes through the old cam. If you enjoyed that video, thank you so much. Give me the old thumbs up. Again, check the description. There's tons of little facts. Shouts to Steph Taylor on the piano. That was a rough draft that she had sent me, and I thought it was just a beautiful piece to go with some soy milk making. We caught the light. We got the light, y'all. It was nice. Thank you, Naza. Appreciate it. Let's take a look at our progress down in Soy Milk Town. All right. So you could see it's been just about 5 minutes. I tried to time that one just right. And if you're looking at these giant fluffy clouds on the surface of the soy milk, the color has also started to change, right, to this, let me pull away some of the clouds. But this foam is one of the big telltale signs that you're doing the right thing. This color, it's sort of like, I don't know, maybe you'll call it ivory. It's an off-white. That's what you're looking for. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. So there's our first cook. Back up on one. Hey! So I'm just setting up for the strain over here. No need to see me shuffling around. But you want to have one of these jobbies set up. You saw it in the video. But, you want a giant container with a fine mesh strainer. I also have the big nut milk bag. Those are also called super bags. You could buy them per micron. It's a great thing to have in the kitchen if you ever make juices. Anytime you want to strain something super, super fine, obviously soy milk, that's what you want to have. They call it a nut milk bag. Everybody loves alternative milks these days. So along with soy milk that we're making right now, you guys can make almond milk, super, super easy. Oat milk, again, super easy. All those milks are basically the same process, and you want to have a nut milk bag, 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 nut milk bag. All right, enough clowning around. I am going to strain this through that very same container. Boom. If you guys are, sorry guys, if you're joining me on Facebook, check it out on YouTube. It's so much more entertaining, I promise. And then let me just give you the long shot here of the strain. So we're straining our soy milk. Guys, if you're just joining in, Jeremiah Bullfrog Cuts it up. It's Wednesday. I'm drinking sake. We're going straight up vegan. Everybody should think about being a little more healthy. Why not try this dish out for your own? Have you ever had, Mapo Tofu before? What are your thoughts on tofu? Usually people say it's bland, but you know what? Jeremiah Bullfrog don't make anything bland, so let's go. Lenny, I can look up the microns for you. Paper filters do absolutely work. The finer the mesh, the longer it takes to drain. Sometimes I take my coffee setup. I personally use for coffee, I like a Chemex. I like to use the Chemex paper filters. Like these jobbies here. You can absolutely strain through those types of things. You don't need to go that fine. If you have a fine mesh chinois, right? That means Chinese. That's like a Chinese cap. That works, But look at this. We've got, let me give you the old switcheroo. We've got beautiful soy milk, right? That's it. That's step, that's step one. What we're going to do now is we're going to recook it. And what that process does is you're cooking out that kind of like grassy, funky, raw bean taste. Mapo actually, so Mapo Tofu it's mistranslated a lot as grandma's tofu. Mapo is kind of like pot marks or like bad acne, bad complexion. So it's actually like it's not a nice thing to call somebody. It's like saying, hey, you with that poor complexion dish. Tofu, obviously tofu in Chinese. This is originated in Chengdu in the Sichuan province, known for their spice dishes. We're gonna get into that on the second half of the show. I want to just finish up this tofu process. So after you have your first cook, I'm setting up your cam 2 real quick, guys. So after you have that slurry that's been cooked and strained, give me a look at cam 2 real quick, please. Yep, all right, we're getting there. So after you have that first round, what you do is you cook the soy milk again. You get rid of that grassiness, and you've got soy milk. It's ready to drink. Some people add sugar, some people add salt. I like it just straight up. When I make soy milk, I take a big old ladle full and put it in a mug, and I like to sip on it. Again, if you've never had fresh soy milk, it's pretty good. Even like a little teaspoon of sweetener of your choice, it's pretty delicious. It's got a great mouthfeel. Soy has its own natural oils, and it's a great source of protein. Shouts to B for recognizing the old haircut. Shouts to Laurel for the haircut. So are you guys with me so far? We've got soy milk in the bag. Here we go. We're going to make tofu. It's a pretty easy process. Again, in the description, I know I sound like a broken record, but, some people tune in late. Some people don't pay attention. I can't control what people do. So you'll hear me, repeat a couple things. Here we go. This is gypsum powder. There's a couple of different ways to coagulate your soy milk into tofu. I'm using gypsum powder. You can use nagari crystals. You can use nagari liquid. Those are Japanese terms. You can also use magnesium salt or Epsom salts. Those are all things that will coagulate your soy milk for tofu. So here I just mixed in my gypsum powder. It's 1.5 teaspoons or 6 grams for us exactos into just some cold filtered water. Again, you keep hearing me say filtered water. It is kind of important that that you use a great water. You know, soy milk, it's just soybeans blended in water. You want good soybeans, you need good fresh water. And so this is the slurry, and as soon as this comes right back up to heat, we should be there in a second. You're gonna see me start to stir the, actually I'm gonna check it. Hey, all right, I think we're just about there. Let's take a look down at Cam 2. Okay, so here's the technique on this from the Tofu Masters, is you make a Z. You see that? It's kind of like Zorro and my old wooden spoon here is making a Z pattern through this soy milk. Now this is soy milk that I had cooked previously, and it's been heated up, and it's a two-handed process here. If you've ever made cheese, this is like the same deal. So we're gonna add this in 3 batches. Here we go. 1 batch. Boom. Now we're gonna keep stirring. I'm gonna start to cut the heat, because you see this steam, we're at the right temp. So we're making tofu from scratch, guys. I see it. So there you go. There's the first round of gypsum powder. What I like to do with my gypsum powder is keep stirring it. If you have an immersion blender handy, you can hit it, like pulse it twice, and it makes a better emulsion there. So now we're going in with our second round, right? So this is in 3, and I'm just gonna stir like this on the surface. If you can see, it is starting to cut, right? It is starting to curdle. We're getting super small curds. So heat is off. We're gonna cover it. Apologies for the bright white plate, but this pot does not have a lid. Back up on 1. Kaboom! There we go. We're making tofu, everybody. Soy milk was first. Now we're coagulating, we're cutting it, we're making tofu. Very, very similar process to cheese. Has anybody ever made fresh tofu before? You know, usually people think tofu is super bland. I'm here to show you that it does not have to be. Wait till you see the Mapo process. We are getting pretty close, y'all. No, Brian, Miami tap water is no bueno. And so, as we're waiting for that, let's just give you a quick rundown on what you're gonna need next. This is a tofu press. This is actually full of my tofu from earlier. You wanna weigh it down, because what you're doing is you're pressing out all the excess liquid or the whey through these cracks, and you're getting that block of tofu. You can also use a colander, and that's what we're gonna do here, because I'm not gonna disturb my beautiful tofu, which we need for our dish, for Mapo Tofu. So something like this little setup for the next stage, right? Hope y'all are with me. So let's go back down to Cam 2 town, right? So there's another look at it, and we want to get the last of this in. So again, make sure you're stirred up well. This is just like a slurry, and that goes in on top. And then if you could see that, you check it, you see how it's separating right there? So now we're going to be gentle. We're doing just this little stirring action on the surface. right? And so let me just scoop a little out for you so you can see what tofu looks like from scratchy scratch. It still needs a couple of minutes, guys, but we're gonna get bigger curds than that, but just like, yeah. So I'm gonna cover this back up our one, kaboom town. And that's it. That's the tofu process. That's the from bean to block on homemade tofu. If you're gonna make Mapo Tofu, which is what we're doing here, you know, you want to make your own soy milk, and you want to have your shot at making, you know, your own tofu, guys. So I just want to show you, you know, let's go down to 2 for this unveil here on the unveil. So when you press your tofu, the longer you press it, the more liquid comes out and the different textures you get. Can everybody see that? Jose, how are we looking on tofu? I know it's real bright. Cool. And then so this little mold, you know, this is a little cheapy. They have bamboo molds as well. And you press it. I just press this with weight. This sucker goes on here, and 20 minutes gives you like a semi-firm. You could press it overnight. You know, but take a look at the tofu. It's got a real nice texture. So from here, you want to keep this in water. Jeremiah Bullfrog tip and trick. What I do is I keep my tofu in brine, salted cold water. Let me just cut this up while I'm here so you guys can see my curds. So I just go lengthwise, just like that. And then we want perfectly cut cubes, so we're gonna go like that. Turn it again, and we're gonna go like that. Guys, what do you think? Tofu, can you make it in your kitchen? Mapo Tofu, we're getting into it, y'all. Boom, there it is. Back up on 1. We're gonna start getting into the Mapo side, right? We're gonna make a nice wicked gravy, and that's how you put together this delicious dish. I wanted everybody to see the tofu process. Let's take a look at mushroom stock real quick.
Shake oil. Shake oil. Shake oil. Shake, 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 shake oil. Shake, shake, shake oil. Shake oil. Shake oil. Shake oil. Shake oil. Shake, 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 shake oil. Shake, shake, shake oil. Shake oil. Shake, 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 shake oil. Shake, 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 shake oil. Shake, shake.
The following special program is a paid advertisement for
Booze Block, the block that chops.
Chances are you're still slicing away on an old-fashioned wood cutting board just like your grandmother used. A totally new kind of cutting board designed for today's kitchen. And it makes an ideal serving tray for hors d'oeuvres and snacks.
Booze Block, the block that chops.
For your money back.
Hey, Booze Block. Shouts out to Booze Block for keeping us blocked up with the most beautiful cutting boards in the old studio here. Somebody asked, how firm should the tofu be? You want tofu that has quite a bit of firmness. If you're using what they call silken tofu, it's more of a custard. It's not going to work out so well. You're going to have a big bowl of mush. So you want to be able to pick it up and give it a little squish between your fingers. Let's take a look just real quick at cam 2 again. So this was the batch that came out, and here's another tip and trick, is you want to have this sort of simmered in some hot water. And what that process does, and those of you who are really using your investigative senses here, you can see this isn't water, but in fact it is mushroom stock, because Jeremiah Bullfrog takes the flavor level, up to the gods level. Back up on one. So, super important that when you're starting to make Mapo Tofu is that you simmer your tofu that you've made. You want to take that, you want to cut it into equal sized cubes, and you want to put that in a hot liquid. I've chosen to do the mushroom stock because we're going straight up vegan. If you like meat, if you're doing beef on your Mapo gravy, then do a beef stock. Chicken stock, you guys get the idea. We're just looking to add all these different flavor elements, is how you break it down. Why is food bland? It's because you're not thinking about adding all this flavor when you can. Step by step, you have these little opportunities to inject more flavor. As you're cooking, you need to season and you need to add different elements in stages, and it all sort of comes together and makes one delicious dish. That's the best way I can explain it. And on Mapo, especially anything with tofu, you need to inject it with flavor. So when you're simmering out that tofu, the liquid is kind of coming out, and it's sucking up that mushroom stock, which is full of umami, and that's what you guys want to do. So let's get into the preparations on the actual Mapo side. Jose, let's take a look down at Camp 2. So I went ahead and got all my mise en place. We've got a couple of little things to finish here, but just to give you an idea of what it takes, back up on one real quick. Back up on one real quick. Yeah, okay. So you wanna, I'm doing it in a wok, right? This is a cast wok. It's been seasoned well, that's why it's that color. And when you're cooking on high heat, you need everything back down here to mise en placeville. So I'm just gonna run through the ingredients real quick with you. Again, guys, YouTube has the recipe for you, so step by step. We've got our oil that we're gonna use. I'm choosing to use my own chili oil here. You also have that recipe. We have dochi, or these are fermented black beans. These are salted, it adds a nice salty element. This is a Facing Heaven chili. This is a Sichuan mild chili. And then this is the Sichuan hot chili pepper, which gives you the balance. We just have some scallion whites, which we're gonna cook. And then we're gonna have the scallion greens, which we just add sort of at the end. I'm gonna grate some ginger fresh, just on the microplane. We've got some garlic that we need to bust up real quick. And here's the Jeremiah Bullfrog little sort of spin on it. I picked this up from Danny Boyan, Mission Chinese. This is just tomato paste. This is a really good Italian tomato paste that's going to add some sweetness. In Sichuan cuisine, there is an underlying sweetness to the dish with all that heat, and it sort of carries the heat around. Star of the show, this is what you need. You can't have Mapo Tofu without this. This is a chili paste. It's a Pixian Duban, or Dubanjiang. There is a description down below. Back up on one while I preach. The importance of ingredients, always, once and forever. I like to get my Sichuan ingredients from Mala Market. Shouts to the Mala Market. There is a description. As always, I'm taking care of y'all, so you can one click and pick it up yourself. But you want these ingredients if you're gonna make a legit dish. Is my Mapo Tofu, is it super authentic? No. Am I from Sichuan, Chengdu province? No. So how do I interpret these flavors as I get those ingredients and I utilize them in my own way? I sort of use my techniques that I've learned over the years to cook this dish. It's not fusion. It's not, anything other than legit ingredients getting put together in the Sichuan style. And I like to, like the cerebral thing behind the dishes, I like to think about how this will come together utilizing sort of like Chinese techniques, right? We're wok cooking and using Sichuan ingredients just with like the mentality of, a chef, right? That's how my brain works. The last couple of things we didn't get to, a little sesame oil. I've got Shaoxing, which is Chinese cooking wine. It does have some salt in it. It's to prevent chefs from doing this. It is good for cooking. It is not good for drinking. And then we have the two soy sauces. We have the dark soy. This is some amazing stuff. I got this from Mala Market. This is the dark soy. And then we have some light soy. Shouts to the homie from Kiko Man. This is the old light soy. I actually just watered down my Kiko Man just a touch because you need the balance there. And that's what it's all about. So that's ingredients, y'all. Avarice knows that it's time to walk and roll. That's the rundown on the ingredients. I'm gonna start busting out some ginger and garlic so we can stir fry. I'm gonna preheat my wok so that we can 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang. Guys, if you're with me, let me know. How we doing so far? I need a sip of sake because I got that salty Shaoxing in my mouth. Jose. Hey. Cheers. Chili oil. How we doing? Chili oil. There's quite a lot of ingredients in that. I'm sure you saw that. So it was just easier to me to condense it, and then we're left with this beautiful oil. Here's a little extreme close-up. Let's do chili oil filter. Boom, 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 boom. So Lao Yu, or it smells amazing. All that garlic, the Sichuan peppercorns, it all really, really, really comes through nice and bright. So Sichuan peppercorns on the Sichuan cuisine. While I'm yapping away about these things, take a look down at Cam 2. I got to finish prep, guys. So I'm gonna just grate my ginger on the micro, because that's the way we do. So the ma la flavor of Sichuan cuisine is what we're doing here, and it's sort of mind numbing. it's not, so Sichuan's not necessarily spicy as much as it is numbing. It has this quality to it that just lights you up and it makes your mouth tingly. You sort of lose some sensations in your mouth, and you get this sort of like brain buzz going on with Sichuan peppercorns. My good friend Jesse turned me on to mala chili oil that his mom makes, like legit stuff, and since then I'm just hooked on it. And this is just one of the biggest expressions of that mala. So it's mind-numbing and spice together. So there's our ginger. You know, nothing special, but we need some good fresh ginger for the dish. And we'll just take some garlic and you know, we're gonna whack it down, help loosen up those papers. And again, guys, I know I sound repetitive, but in the description is the recipe, so you guys can make this on your lonesome. Just gonna bust up this garlic real quick, and we'll be rocking and rolling. My wok is heating up. I've got all my mise en place. Dish is coming together nicely. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. All I need to do is finish some garlic. Super sharp knife. Beautiful booze block. You don't want the end because it has the little bitter germ in it. And there it is. All of our mise en place, all of our veg is cut to the same size, so it all cooks at the same time, right? Just like always, we're preaching the same. This goes in here. And let's go back up on one while I reset. Yes, thank you. Just gonna move over the wok real quick so everybody can see, and we'll crank up the heat. And that's it, guys. We're making Mapo Tofu. Flames going up. You can take a look at that. Sorry. Yep. Okay. So flames up. It's about a medium flame. Our seasoned wok is kind of preheated already. So Jose's gonna jump in between 1 and 2 while I'm doing my thing. And I'm gonna make this dish right in front of your eyes. We'll plate it up. If you have any questions, now's the time. If you look back down on 2 real quick, you could see that it is smoking, right? That's what we want. So in with some just straight up cooking oil, and we swirl that around. And so this is how you sort of preheat your wok. It is the Nature's original non-stick pan. And so what I'm doing now is just pouring out that little first bit of oil. So I've got my preheated action going on. We have a super hot wok. And then because we're doing vegan style, we're gonna start with some mushrooms. This is just cremini mushrooms that I pulsed in the food processor. You hear that sound? That's exactly what you want. This is my preferred utensil here, and we want to cook out the water because mushrooms are mostly water. And then we're going to start seasoning these mushrooms with all of our different flavor profile. And you hear that sound? Jose up on 1. If you hear that sound, right, we're using all of our senses because things are cooking very, very quickly here. You want to make sure, yeah, all of your ingredients need to be ready and close by. That's number 1. And then number 2 is you want to pay attention to your senses. You know, if you guys are drinking too much sake, you're not going to pay attention to the little nuances. Cooking is using all of your senses out at the same time. All right, let's go back down. And so, how are we looking? Is this a viable shot? Can everybody see that there's water evaporating here off of these mushrooms? I'm moving them up and down on the wok. I'm using the sides. The sides are a little cooler. The middle of the wok is hotter, right? And now we want to start adding our flavor profile. So I'm going to go with a little bit of my chili oil. Freshen up the wok with a little oil. And so now I'm going with these scallion whites. Hear the sizzle, that's what you want. I'm going with the garlic on top of that so it doesn't burn. I'm going with some ginger. And so that's the trinity, right? The holy trinity of like Asian cuisine: scallions, ginger, garlic. And you see the steam coming off of this sucker. And it's gonna go real fast here, guys. Buckle up. Jeremiah Bullfrog is gonna bring it to a close real quick. So that's cooked. Now we want to make sure to get our chili paste, or our doubanjiang, right? This beautiful stuff, that has to go in because we need to toast that up. Centerpiece of the dish right there. Woo! I'm feeling it, guys. A couple of black beans here for saltiness. We want those in. So as each ingredient goes in, I'm making sure to move it around. We're getting good caramelization on the wok. Now we want some mild chili. This is really gonna take it from a more of a brown dish to a bright red dish. In with a little spice, a little Sichuan pepper. Again, stir fry that up. Good Maillard reaction in the wok. We're toasting it up. And I'm taking the heat off just a touch. And here we go, shall sing, deglaze. Woo! Woo! Up on one. It's getting real, y'all. We're going for it. What do you think? Mapo Tofu right in front. I'm gonna go in with some soy. Take a look. Down to 2. So light soy. You can see it steams off immediately. Some dark soy. We're not really using any salt here because we have our different umami. Now some mushroom stock. You guys saw that. And that's going to slow it down, right? We just slowed down our cooking. We went from like 100 down to like 98. You're going to see in this wok, it's ripping hot. That's what you want. You want some wok hay. That's that sort of like smokiness. I'm going back up on some heat. We want this to boil real nice. And then on Chinese food, right? What you need here is a little slurry. It's just cornstarch in water, and it's going to help us thicken this dish up lickety split. You add it in a couple of different batches so that you don't thicken it too much. You don't want it to be gloopy, but you want that nice sheen. Cornstarch gives you sort of like this this gloss to the dish. And boom, look at that, huh? That sucker is rip-roaring hot. Let's add a little tomato paste for sweetness. And then we're going in with our tofu because we want the tofu to absorb all the flavors of the sauce, right? Tofu is a sponge. So as you take the water out of the tofu, it's going to be replaced with all this beautiful flavor. Guys, what do you think? We're making Mapo Tofu in a wok right in front of your eyes. See this baby thicken up? How we looking? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Jose, hit me with some, as I add these scallions, hit me with some tunes. Let me see some tofu tunes. All right. Mapo Tofu's done. I'm taking it to the dish. Guys, I got a little bonus content for you, so stick around. I know we're going to push right past the hour. I'm going to make something nice and cool and refreshing to cool yourself off after you light your mouth up. So we're taking it to the plate. Let's look back down on 2. So you could see that the Mapo is the perfect consistency. It is not too thick and gloopy. And so let's just take it to the plate. So this is one of the most awesome sauces. You know, you want to eat this like over some rice or even some like cauliflower. We're keeping it vegan today. We got all those amazing mushrooms. Guys, what do you think? This is just lighting up my senses. Shouts to Neza for digging the tunes. Shouts to Michael for digging the looks here. And as always, we're gonna garnish this bad boy up with some beauties. Jose, how's Camp 2 looking right now, my dude? We're just gonna add a couple little touches here. Fresh Origins has given me the goods to make it look sexy. I've got some mung bean sprouts. So if you see what I'm doing here, it's soybeans in their initial phase. It's just these beautiful little golden sprouts. This is how the life cycle starts. And then this is the green leaf, or like it's kind of like an edamame soybean leaf. Very similar to like a pea sprout. So we're gonna get some great texture and some grassiness here. So how we looking, guys? What do you think? Mapo Tofu, can you do it? Let me know, light me up in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already for all this amazing content. Here we go, cilantro flowers. I just love the smell of these blooms. These teeny little cilantro flowers are just packed full of amazing flavor. Gives you all the flavor of cilantro in a flower form. Now we're gonna add a little chive action. These are little garlic chives, a little onion flavor to enhance that fresh scallion we put in. And now here we go. This is the creme de la creme. This is these are called buzz buttons. This is the Sichuan pepper in its flower form. When you eat these suckers, we're only gonna need one. These things light you up like a Christmas tree, no joke. That's the tingle. That's the 101. And then here's how we finish the dish. You want a little fresh oil because that's Sichuan cuisine in a nutshell. Guys, Mapo Tofu back up on 1. That's what it's all about right here in a bowl. Delicious Sichuan flavors. This is what you want in your life. Let me taste the sauce. Let me make sure I nailed it on the mala, on the spicy. Woo! My head's about to explode with flavors. So I'm gonna get into a little after hours. I want to thank everybody for jumping on. Bev, I know you're hungry. Brian, I'm not sure what Brian needs. Lenny, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Shouts to everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please do already. Next week, we're going to run into some more madness on Jeremiah Bullfrog Live. I am going to do a little bonus content. Jose, you got something you can play while I reset for the bonus content, my dude? Hey, if you guys are still checked in, I appreciate it. That's the show. We're giving you a little bonus content because, you know, that's the way we do it around here. Jeremiah Bullfrog doesn't cut any corners. I wanted to show you a super cool second dish, almost like a salad to cool you down. You light your mouth up on fire on Mapo Tofu. It's spicy, it's numbing. And so, you know, it's summer. So what better way to cool down than watermelon? This is a real cool dish. It has the very similar profile that Mapo Tofu does. It just sort of highlights it, but as you're eating the cool watermelon, I'm gonna plate as I yap. I'm just going with some chunks of watermelon, nothing crazy. It is chilled, that is pretty important. And I'm using the same ingredients here. So it's sort of like a 2-for-1 deal. You know, it's kind of like a cool thing that I did once, and I've made this watermelon salad with the same flavors as Mapo Tofu. So I figured, sorry, let me just grab a spin. So again, after hours, guys. This is the after hours part of the show. What I did is I took the watermelon rind and I pickled it. So that's where we get our acid from. I put the same hard spices in the watermelon rind. But all that green, right, from the watermelon, what do you do with it? You know, when you cut off the skin, like the dark green, the very outside, you can use a peeler or a sharp knife. You get rid of that. It's not really edible. You can compost it. And then the lighter green part. Let's take a look down at 2 real quick, Jose. Cool. So this is the watermelon rind. You can see it's just random odds and ends pieces. It's that lighter green, almost like a pale yellow. This has been pickling in rice wine vin, and it smells amazing. The vinegar is delicious because it has, let's get rid of the hard spices, right? You don't need that. So the vinegar has this watermelon sort of essence to it. I'm going to spoon some of that right on the watermelon also. And here's something cool. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but salting watermelon. It's something that is very prominent in the South. I've got some nice flaky smoked Maldon salt that's going to go on top. If you've never had just salted watermelon, I recommend you guys try that. And you know, I don't want to drag it out too far and too long. We just rocked a whole live show. So real quick, I have this beautiful purple basil that I dehydrated and I powdered. That's gonna bring out an amazing flavor with the watermelon. This is what I did with the solids from the soy milk, from the soy, and I dehydrated all those little solids and I powdered it. So keeping it vegan, y'all. We want to cool off. And look at that, huh? Adds a bit of a cheesy sort of quality, but it is vegan. And then straight away, right into the larder of amazingness from Fresh Origins. These are teeny little cucumbers with their blooms. You eat these suckers whole, and it is quite amazing. So we're just gonna give a little garnish. Guys, are you still with me on the after hours, on the bonus content here? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'm gonna hit it with some chili oil because this is not spicy at all, but we need a little bit of that mouthfeel. So that goes on. And I've got these teeny little baby cucumbers. They look like watermelons. They're also called cuca melons. And I'm just gonna cut these. Can you guys see those? Jose, can you see this? I'm not sure if anybody else is with us at this point. We ran long and we're going through some bonus content, but look how cool that is. Super shouts to Fresh Origins for being the homies and providing us with all this amazing produce, keeping my chef brain working. How do we put these to work? Just a touch of these flowers. Boom, like this. Finish up this little salad to eat on the side. And a teeny little spoonful of the old Sichuan pepper flake. This is just the peppercorns that I toasted that went into the Mapo, and we just want to light you up real quick. There it is, guys. Bonus content. Jeremiah Bullfrog Live. Let me show this cam just so we know. Back up on one. There it is. Sorry, back down on two real quick. There it is, side by side. We've got the two beautiful dishes. All you need is a little rice, and you've got yourself a meal for two. Back up on one. Shouts to Jose. We got watermelon salad with pickled watermelon rind, baby cucumbers, and basil powder. And there it is, star of the show, Mapo Tofu. Y'all can do it on your own. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Love y'all. And I'm going to see you next week, Wednesday.